In just over a year, 3 million people globally have lost their lives to COVID-19. Massachusetts has seen nearly 18,000 deaths, and on a local level, that number is over 400 in Barnstable County. In a touching tribute to honor the Cape Cod victims of COVID, resident Denise Harris has planted 461 flags in the Hyannis Rotary, a project she was inspired to do after losing her own family member to the virus.
Unfortunately, my father was a COVID victim. He passed away in January due to it. It was pretty sudden. He went 11 days with no symptoms at all. So we thought he was kind of, coming to the end of it. And then unfortunately on the 12th day, I was at work and I called him and he sounded delirious. He couldn't finish a sentence. So we called the ambulance for him. And 10 days later, he passed away at Cape Cod Hospital. So from that point on, my world was kind of turned upside down. We were very close. I was a daddy's girl. I'm an only child. So I wanted to do something, in his memory. And then when I realized that there was nothing that had been done for all the rest of the victims on Cape Cod, that's what started an idea of doing some type of memorial, for him as well as all the other victims and their families. Knowing how it feels, I know firsthand how the other families are feeling. So,
do you think that you'll be planting more flags as unfortunately, the numbers will rise over time? Do you anticipate on going back and adding more? Or is it just kind of like one statement right now?
Every few days I'll go and I'll check it. And unfortunately, if the numbers do go up, I will put more flags as they come. Hopefully, it'll just be me checking them and not putting any more flags. But if that does happen, until June 6th, I'll put as many flags as needed.
And now what do you hope that our Cape Cod community takes away from this project?
My main goal was for the family members, when they ride around the Rotary, just to know that their loved ones aren't just a statistic, they're not just a number, and they are being thought of and they are being remembered, and that they're not in this alone. When you see the number or you hear the number in the paper and the media, I think that it doesn't resonate as well as if you see it as a whole. When you go around the Rotary and see all the different flags, then it's a little easier to put in perspective, wow, there were that many people that passed away from it, rather than hearing the number.
Absolutely. Well, and then thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thank you for having me.